Hello and welcome to Sunday's edition of Cracking the Cryptic. Oh, I'm just getting my notes here because I need to talk to you. This puzzle on the screen, Double Dippin Dots, is by mathguy_12, real name Nathan, and it is Nathan's birthday today. I think it's Nathan's 24th birthday. So this is why we're going to be having a look at this puzzle today. Apparently it is absolutely brilliant, and it's certainly very pretty. That we can say. 3 stars out of 5 for difficulty, so hopefully not too monstrous. I say that and it's in a heartfelt way actually, because it is now 4:45, which is ridiculously late for me to be starting the process of recording, but life has got away from me today, so mathguy_12 Nathan, I really need you to come up trumps and have delivered me a solvable puzzle. And, well, I get a given digit as well, which is jolly generous. Jolly generous these days. But it's not just Nathan's birthday. There are other birthdays that I need to do, including to catch up on yesterday's birthday. Because if you watched yesterday, you will know yesterday's video was a pre-record because it was the Times Cryptic Crossword Championship yesterday. And I hope I'm not giving away too much by congratulating Mark on his 14th title. Extraordinary, just an extraordinary event, with some brutally hard puzzles in it, and I'm absolutely for that. I hate dumbing down in any form. So what they did was they delivered 3 puzzles in the sort of quarterfinal that were all very difficult, especially to get done in a relatively quick amount of time. I mean, we can all solve the puzzles in the end, but to do them quickly under pressure is so challenging. And anyway, Mark aced those, as you'd expect. I scraped into the semi-final by the skin of my teeth. Got pretty owned there. Pretty owned. But Mark got through, as he was always going to the grand final. Where he competed with several luminaries of the crossword world. I want to say who was in the grand final. So Matthew Marcus, Chloe Hutton, David Howell, and Roger Crabtree. And then the puzzle that they were faced with was by a friend of mine, John Guyver, who is one of the most outstandingly brilliant cryptic clue writers. And the puzzle that John created, it was monstrously hard. I cannot tell you how difficult it was. Anyway, Mark got it done in 10 minutes to beat the field by some distance and to claim his 14th title. So it's really pretty humbling, to be honest, for the rest of us. I was trying to think of a way to explain it. There are ways to explain it, but it's very hard to do it justice when you've only got video footage of people sitting at a table and then one of them raises their hands after a while. It really needs the context of the clues to explain that you're actually watching genius. I said this to a couple of people yesterday, but I saw an interview recently with Magnus Carlsen, in which Magnus was asked whether he thought any of the younger generation coming through would ever reach his levels at chess. And Magnus thought about it for a moment, and he said, "No, I don't think so. And that's the thing about a generational talent. They come along once every generation." Now, from anyone else in the world, that would sound arrogant, but from Magnus, of course, it's not arrogant, it's just accurate. And Mark would never say that about himself because he's far too British about it and modest. But he is a generational talent, and what he is able to do with those puzzles is simply humbling to the rest of us, and well done him. So anyway, that's a catch-up. That's the time, and I'm sure we'll be doing more. I'll go into it in more depth in the Friday crossword video, and also in due course, once the championship, that final championship puzzle becomes widely available, we'll definitely do a special video of that. Mark might do a special video on that. I don't know. What else can I tell you about? I should have made more copious notes, but I'm starting the video so late. I'm underprepared. we're streaming again tomorrow night at 10 p.m. UK time. We're doing more blueprints. We'd love to have your company if you're free, so do join us then. I'll try and remember to put a link to that stream on the screen now. Do go over to Patreon, where we've got this incredible Sudoku hunt from the Skunkworks to do battle with over there. 68 puzzles. That sounds very daunting, but it isn't, because they're all 5x5. They're all meant to be approachable-ish. So you'll be able to do them, and they'll give you a lot of fun. And as I say, there's so many great Sudoku authors represented. It's just wonderful, and there's still loads of time left. The closing date's the 20th of the month, so plenty of time to enter if you haven't started the puzzles yet. And then let's do some birthdays. We'll start off by saying I've got some of these as to catch up from yesterday. Tom, yesterday you turned 26. Many happy returns, my friend. I hope you had a great birthday. I hope the chocolate cake was very well iced. And then we'll go to Brazil, where Yuki, yesterday it was your 20th birthday. You've been watching for a couple of years, so thank you for watching. I'm always completely enthralled by the fact that we have the viewers in all corners of the globe. And I hope that the chocolate cake was good on your 20th yesterday. Now this one might not be late. I hope not. Alice, have you turned 24 today? I know this because your parents wanted to say happy birthday to you. The email was from your mum, so I know your mum's Vanessa. And I think that a family roast dinner was being planned for today, and a chocolate marble cake, of which I approve. And I might be seeing you in Stratford-upon-Avon later. Well, it's not that far away now. It's like 3 weeks away. Yeah, we're doing this live edition of Cracking the Cryptic on the 2nd of November. At the Stratford-upon-Avon Literary Festival. So I don't know if there are any tickets left. There might be a few, but anyway, Alice, I think that you have one of those, so we will meet then, and I hope that the family dinner and the cake, of course, is good today. Next, Brendan, your husband John wrote to me to tell me it's your birthday. I think today. I know that John baked you a chocolate cake as well, so and it did look very good. And if I was better prepared, I would be able to show you a picture of it, but I'm not. And Brendan is, I think, long suffering because John has watched every episode of the channel since the pandemic. That is now a long time. That is a long time. So John, thank you for being such a regular viewer. And Brendan, I'm sorry. And then another apology from me to Emma in northern Sweden. Emma, it's your birthday today, and I know this because your husband Philippe. Is it Philip or Philippe? Oh, I don't know. Could be just Philip, actually. Oh, I'm not sure. Anyway, Philip wrote to us and asked me if I could reassure you, Emma, that my relationship with Philip is purely platonic, because apparently my voice is often in your bedroom at night. It is purely platonic. I don't think I've ever been to northern Sweden, and I think yeah. Well, hopefully you understand, and Emma, thank you for putting up with me, and I hope you have a brilliant birthday today with a large slice of cake. And with that said and done, let's turn our attention to doing some Sudoku solving. Let's have a look at Double Dippin Dots by MathGuy_12 on his birthday. The rules are really short. We've just got normal Sudoku rules applying, so we've got to put the digits 1 to 9 once each in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Cells with the same colour circle contain the same digit. So those, if they were, I was about to make them 5, that would be very silly. Let's make them 6. If that was 6, that would also be 6, is what we're being told there. Fairly straightforward. Now, these clues here are not quadruple clues. It says cells touched by a sum dot add to the indicated value. Digits may repeat within a dot if allowed by other rules. So those 4 cells there, let's highlight them. They add to 22, but we could do that in some nefarious ways. We could have double 8, couldn't we? That would be 16, so we need another 6 in those two, so presumably we could do that. I don't know if that's possible, but I think mathematically it would work. And then, so those add up to 22, but those add up to 15, and those add up to, whoops, those add up to 17, etc. And they are all the rules. Do have a go. The way to play is to click the link under the video as usual. But now, I get to play. Let's get cracking. Now, I am now trying to work out exactly how we get cracking. It must be something to do with the overlaps, is it? So, I'm trying to see big gaps between clues. I'm doing a terrible at that one, maybe. I'm trying to see big oh no, hang on, those two. That's where. Right. I think. Yeah, I suspect this is where we oh, that's actually a 10 difference there as well. I think there is a 10 difference between those and between those, and that feels to me like it must be telling me something. Because that domino is common, isn't it, to both sums. So if they add up to x, these add up to x plus 10 is the way I think that must work. Because these are common to both, they're sort of irrelevant to the difference in value between this 20 sum and this 10 sum. These cannot contribute to the difference because they're in both sets. So the difference is entirely explained by the difference between this domino and that domino. And the difference is 10, so this must be higher than pink by 10. That's actually not a very meaningful conclusion, is it? Because I mean, the minimum they could be would be a 1-2 pair, which means this is adding up to at least 13. But that's not nearly enough to make it interesting, even with the given 5. And this, of course, might not be a 1-2 pair. Oh, but if it was a 1-2 pair... Oh, sorry, the orange ones are the same, aren't they? So is it something to do with... Oh dear, this is going to get very... I'm suddenly worried if this is... Because mathguy_12, I actually talked about a mathguy_12 puzzle in a number file video that we made. Actually, there might be another number file video coming out soon. There might be. Yeah, but that puzzle was about the difference of squares, and it was quite mathematical. So I'm wondering if we actually have to run this logic further forward or further through to there. Hang on, let me just try and think about what that means. So I know... What do I know about this domino? Do I know anything about that domino? I know this domino is 5 greater than that domino, because the 20 clue versus the 25 clue. So if that added up to A and that added up to B, I don't want to have to get out sort of pieces of paper to try and do this. Let me just try. I'm just trying to think this through in my head to see whether or not there's anything going on here. So what we're saying is that A plus B is 10. C plus B is 20. So C minus A is 10. And then C minus A is 10. D plus C is 25. So C equals A plus 10, I think is... C equals A plus 10. So D plus A plus 10 is 25. Oh, this is horrible. This cannot get me anywhere, can it? No, I don't like that. I think that's just getting completely and utterly mad. So it doesn't. If they're the same number, that's not going to be of any use nor ornament, is it? Because that domino is adding. No, it's absolutely no. This is not how to do this puzzle. There is something going on. If I didn't know better, I would say it was Phistomefel, because I get given the 2x2s in these corners. There is no way, is there? Wow. I don't know. I don't really want to think about that either. That seems even madder. No, there's too much overlap. I'm going to just think about that, though. I'm just going to highlight everything in that box. Sorry, I realise I'm not actually talking very much today. That's not because... It's because I don't know... I really don't know what to do at all. And I'm not even sure quite what I'm... You see, there's loads of overlaps here. Let's ignore the 5. The 5 isn't important. That's not part of these funny overlapping things. So that cell, in fact, both of that domino, is in... So if I added... I'm thinking about, can I add up everything? And what will that give me? It's going to give me that number twice, that cell twice, because this cell is in the 16 total and it's also in the 17 total. But how does that work? You see, that cell... Oh, that's ridiculous. That is ridiculous. This is it. Okay. That is ridiculous. Oh my goodness. Right. Okay, I've understood it. I don't know how I'm going to show this. But this is it's just ridiculous. I think actually the maths of this is still going to be horrific, but I think I understand what we have to do, because I am going to claim that if I add up all of these clues together, I am going to get a number that I believe is double the value of the black cells. So if I added up each of the black cells once and doubled that overall result, I think I would get the result of adding all of these funny clue things. Now, if that is true, if I then halve that, so I'm going to add up all the clue things, I'm going to halve that, and then I'm going to get the plain vanilla value. Yeah. So this is it. This is definitely it, because that's going to allow me to get that. This is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The way these constructors can do this is so clever. It's so clever. Right. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with colours. Okay, now I'm going to claim that the following cells, those cells, if I was to sum all of these things up, I think all of those cells that I've highlighted in black are counted twice. Now let's test that. Let's look at this one. That's clearly in the 18 clue, and it's clearly in the 16 clue. So that one is definitely in twice. I think the same is true for all of those cells, and you can, yeah, it must be. Now, I'm going to look at this cell. How many times is that in? Well, that's only in the 18 clue. So that is in once. But this cell is in thrice. It's in 3 times. It's in the 17, the 15, and the 22. So this cell, which we know is the same as this cell, is in 4 times. But that's in 2 different cells, so it's effectively the same as saying both of those are in twice. And therefore, and we can do that logic with those, and those. So I am now, I think that demonstrates that the black cells are, well, these cells, if I add them, these clues, if I add them, are twice the black cells. Now, okay, so now let's do that mathematics. So we've got 40. I'm going to have to be careful not to mess this up. 40, 60, 70. I've got 215, so I'm then at 122 if I include that. 122, 139, 155. I'm doing this slowly so I don't make a mistake. 155, 163, 173, 18191. 192, 212. 212 is what I believe. I'm just going to write that down actually. 212, and I'm now going to do it again because if I've got that wrong, it's going to be a total horlicks, isn't it? So 215s, it's 30, 60, 100. That's definitely right, I think. Then I've got 143, 160, 160 plus 36 is 196. Yeah, 212. I've got 212 twice. I think it's 212. Now. So that's the value of double the black cell. So I then halve 212. I get 106. So 106 is the plain vanilla value of one of each of these black cells. So now I'm going to avail myself of a secret. Let's just write 106 in here if you don't mind. 106. Because there is a secret I share with only my very favourite people. If you're watching this video, if you're putting up with this, you're definitely one of my favourite people. The secret of Sudoku is that a box of a Sudoku, because it contains the digits 1 to 9 once each, sums to 45. That is the secret. Now, I mean, if you're new to cracking the cryptic, you're going to think, what is he wittering on about? I fully understand. Okay, so I know that all of those digits sum to 45. So I know just the black digits in the middle row sum to 40. Because I'm going to leave out the 5. Just those cells, not in the middle row, in the middle box, just those cells sum to 40. So by deducting 40 from 106, I'm going to get 66. And 66 is therefore the sum of the Phistomefel ring, these cells here. Now I'm going to have to prove Phistomefel to demonstrate the next thing, but yeah, this is so cool. This is so cool. Yeah, because now I know what they add up to, and that makes sense to me. Right, so now there is a theorem in Sudoku that I will show you about in a moment that states that these 16 cells that I've still got highlighted in the grid contain the exact same 16 digits that are found in the 16 2x cells in the corner, these 2x2s. So I will demonstrate that that is true for any Sudoku, and then look what we've done now. I've got 66 in the black cells. I've got 18, 18 and 20 here. Well, that sums to 56. So this must take the balance, which is 10. How do you make 10? There. It's got to be 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, I actually see exactly where that's going as well. This is so cool. This is so cool. Nathan, it's it should be my birthday. This is so brilliant. Oh my goodness. Right. So, okay, so I think if I can demonstrate the Phistomefel ring applies, which I'll try to do in a moment, we can say those cells there add up to 10. So how do we show Phistomefel is a truth? The way to do that, this is the way I tend to do this nowadays. I'm going to highlight those cells in black now. Now, these black cells I've just highlighted, I can't tell you whether this digit here is a 1 or a 9. I've got no idea. But I can tell you overall exactly what the black cells contain, because that is one complete row here, another complete row here, one complete box here, and one complete box there. So these cells overall definitely contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. There's going to be 1 1 in there, there's going to be 1 1 in there, there's going to be 1 1 in there, and there's going to be 1 1 in there. So there's going to be 4 1s. So that same logic would apply to all the other digits. So these black cells contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9. Now, I'm going to highlight in a different colour some different cells, although some of them are the same. Those green cells, can we describe exactly what the contents of the green cells are? Yeah, we can. The green cells, that's a complete column, that's another complete column, that's another complete column, and that's a complete column. So that means that the green cells overall contain 4 sets of the digits 1 to 9 as well. So the black cells and the green cells, the contents of those collections of cells are identical. Now, this is the key. What would happen if I removed this from my green collection of digits and I removed it from the black collection of digits as well? What would we be left with in green and black now? And the crucial thing to realise is we don't know what the digits are that are left in black, so we don't know what this cell is, what it contains. But we know that whatever's left in green must be the same as whatever's left in black, because green and black had the same constituents, and I just took the very same thing out of both. So they're still the same, and I can do that for all these cells and all these cells. Boom. So at this point we have proved that green must be the same cells as black, and therefore by the other logic we were doing, these are a 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple, because we had to make them add up to 10 by the mathematics, and there's only one way of making 4 different Sudoku digits add up to 10. Now why is this exciting? I don't know if we're going to have to use Phistomefel, but what I want to do anymore, so that's why I'm getting rid of that. What I want to do now, I think, is to think about this cell. Now, because this can't be 1, 2, 3, 4 now, it can't be 5, because the 5 would get transported here by the orangeness of the dot and clash here. So this cell is at least a 6. Well, can it be any higher than 6? No, because those 4 digits add up to 10. So if this was 7, for example, these 3 cells would all have to contain the digit 1 in order to keep that down to a 10 quadruple overall, and they can't all be 1. That's definitely going to break Sudoku. So that is a 6. And now how do you make those squares add up to 4? Well, the only way, you can't have 3 1s, so but you could have 2 1s and a 2, and the only way of having 2 1s and a 2 without breaking Sudoku is like that. And now I get Oh, look at this. This is just... This is the sort of puzzle I view as practically perfect. Because you have to have an epiphany to understand it. But once you get the epiphany, it doesn't then sort of sit there and say, well, now find 18 finned X-Wings or something. It says, I am now going to reward you for the epiphany. You get your just desserts here. And now I'll get stuck. Oh, no. Now I was about to say, now I'm going to get stuck and have to do finned X-Wings. But no, I don't. 1 and 2, they have to add up to 17. So they have to be an 8-9 pair. Oh, now I can get that digit by maths. They add up to 23, so that's got to be a 2 to make 25 for that thingy. They add up to 12, so they add up to 10. So they add... Oh, well, that works. Yeah, we can do that. Let's just feed that through. Just keep going with that. So I think what we're saying here is these add up to 12 in this 15. So if these add up to 12, these add up to 10. But we know those overall add up to 15. But we know they add up to 12, so that's a 3. I'm sure that does something. I don't know what yet. What do they add up to? They add up to 8, so these add up to 7. Okay, I don't know the order, but I do know that that's a 3-4 pair, because it can't involve a 1 and it can't involve a 2. Yet these two cells have to add up to 7, so they must be 3-4. And okay, so that means this one is also a 3 or a 4. So whatever, how does that work then? So if that's sorry, let me mull this over. So if that's 9, they add up to 12. But if that's a 10, these add up to 11. I feel like that digit is that I'm trying to work out if that green digit is on both sides of the equation, and I'm not doing a very good job of that. Okay, I'm going to have to think about this more carefully, aren't I? Right, so if that's a 3, these add up to 12. So these add up to 6, so they'd have to be 4, 2. Let's just double check that. 12, 6, yeah, because you couldn't do double 3 here. So this would be 4, this would be 2. That looks like it might work. Now, if on the other hand this is 10, this adds up to 11. So this adds up to 11, this adds up to 7. Oh, that doesn't work, because this would be a 3 or a 4, because these would have to add up to 7. And given that this is a 3 or a 4, that would also be a 3 or a 4, and that would clash. Right, so this is 2, this is 4. So this is 4, this is 3. We now know these add up to 12, and they are... ooh, yeah, okay. How do we get 12 out of this domino? It can't be 5, 7, and we don't seem to be able to put 4 in it, so it can't be 4, 8, so it's got to be 3, 9, and the order is known. 1 can be placed in the middle box by that fair-weathered friend, Sudoku. Now, what about these two cells? They also add up to 12, and they don't involve a 4 or a 3, so these are 5, 7. And now the red dot transplants there. So the red dot is not 5, so that's 7, that's 5. Now we can do this one. Look, that's got to be a 6 by mathematics. This, where do we put 9 in the middle box here? All of that gets filled in. Now, we should be able to do this digit. 10. Oh, that's a 3, apparently. It seems to have to be a 3 to make it work. And now these cells, 18, that's a 4. What about that 11? Can we do that? 2, 9. Which would be this way round. No, okay, or 5, 6, which would be that way round. That might be resolved, but I'm not seeing how. Okay, this dot is not. No, it is resolved. It's a 10 domino. It can't be 1 9 or 2 8. Now it can't be 4 6 actually, because of this pair here. So this cell's not able to be 4 or 6. So this must be 3 7, and we can see what the order is. It takes no 3 in the corner, at least not there. Okay. We can probably do something with this, but I don't know what about that. Oh, yes. What's this domino? This isn't 1 9, 2 8, or 3 7, so this is 4 6. So that's got to be 6. That's got to be 4. That 6 is nice because that makes that 2 and that 9. So we get a little bit of a bonus there. About the 9 domino, can we do that? Probably. Yes, actually we can. What is this domino? It's not got 1 on it, so it's not 1 8. It's not got 2 on it, so it's not 2 7. It's not got 3 on it, so it's not 3 6. So it must be 4 5, and I know the order. 4 5. Now, where do we go with that? Secret here. What have we got there? 25. So those 3 digits add up to 20. So they must include a 9. Yeah, I think they're going to be 938 or 947. Let me just explain that. So what I did there was I said the secret tells me that box adds up to 45. I've got 18 here, plus 2 plus 5, so that's 25. So the pink digits add up to 20 to make the balance. Now, if there was no 9 in the pink digits, the only way of 3 different numbers in Sudoku adding up to 20 is if they are 5, 7, 8. And 5 doesn't work. So I know that there's a 9 in one of these cells. I don't know where it goes, but it must be in one of these. And that means the other 2 digits add up to 11. Now they're not going to be 2 9, that would repeat the 9, and they're not going to be 5 6. So they're either 4 7, which is going to require this to be a 7, and one of these to be a 4, which looks fine, doesn't it? Let's pencil mark the 9s. Or they're going to be 3 8. Oh, hang on, no, it's not. It can't be 3 8. It can't be 3 8. No, you can't put 3 into pink. Right. So this is 4 7 9, I think, and that seems to have to be the 4. So 4 9 7 all go into the grid. Now this is an 8 9 pair at the bottom of column 7. So this is a 5 7 pair. So this is a 9 3 pair, perhaps. Now let's do the secret on this box. What have we got here? We've got 12, 16, and 20 is 36. So this domino adds up to 9. So that's got to be 1 8, which is fine. It's working, but I don't think it's resolved. So these squares at the top of the column are 5 6 pair, and that is resolved. Good. 5 6. These squares are 1 8. By Sudoku. Let's check the maths is working. 18 plus 9, 27, and 18 is 45. Beautiful. Beautiful. Now, where is... Okay, let's try row 4 for an easy win. 5, 6, 8. Does that give us an easy win or not? 6. Yeah, it does. That's a 6. So this is a 5 8 pair. Therefore, these squares are 1 and 7, and that's resolved. So 1, 7. Whoops. This needs a something. Technical term for a 7. This box hasn't had 8 or 5 in it. So this is a 5 8 pair. And should we try... Let's try column 4. 1, 1, oh, that's a naked single, 9. And then we need 1 and 8 up here. Now what about those squares then? 4, 5, 6, yeah, that's lovely. So this is 4, this is a 5 6 pair, that's a 9 at the top of the column. These squares are 2 and something. 7. 2 and 7. Okay. Now 4 here comes out of those cells. That's near. Oh no, 4. Okay, 4 can't go in the corner. Yeah, okay, so this is 1, this is 3, this is 2, this is 4. All of that gets resolved. And that gives us me the 1, the 8, the 9. Can we do this 5, 7, 8 stuff? Maybe not yet, I'm not sure. So it's got to be some little Sudoku. There's going to be a Sudoku point now. 5, 6. These squares are from 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, look at that. That's a naked single. Sees everything apart from 8, I think. Let's double check. Sees 1, 2, 3, 4 in the column. Sees 9. So it's got to be 5, 6, 7, or 8. So that is an 8. And that, you can see that's already doing damage. 8 here, 5, 5, 7. Something in the corner. 6, I think. 14, so this is a 1, 3 pair. Now, do we get some joy over here then? These squares are 3 and 4. Yeah, definitely. 4 here. That's 3 in the corner, that's 3 in the spotlight, losing its religion. Now, 2 must be in one of those, as well as, no, 2, 9. Okay, that's good. 9, 2. 2 by Sudoku goes here. The corner digit must be a 5, because it can't be a 6. That resolves this stuff. Now, these are 6 and 7. This is absolutely brilliant. Oh, yeah, that's fine. It's fine. It's working. I thought I might be left with a deadly pattern. That is absolutely, that's absolutely brilliant. Yes, and it's correct. It's actually a bit older than I'd realised. 100. Yeah, it's not a new puzzle, that, but it's spectacularly clever. I really liked the fact. I love the fact it sort of hinted at what it was about with the 2 by 2s in the corners, and yet even when you think, oh, could it be Phistomefel? At least for me, it was very unclear how it could be Phistomefel. But then the epiphany for me was realizing the effect of the dots on this pattern, and how it put effectively 2 lots of everything into that shape. And that is so beautiful as an idea. I mean, it's just hats off. Wonderful. Wonderful puzzle. Loved it. Happy birthday, Nathan. Let me know in the comments how you got on with the puzzle. I enjoy the comments, especially when they're kind. And we'll be back later with another edition of Cracking the Cryptic.